Helen always knew that being both smart and beautiful was dangerous. She started working there 3 years ago. It was a large logistics company, with a strict hierarchy and a man's world that had only recently begun to be diversified by women in management positions. Helen was lucky. She was hired as a senior analyst straight out of her master's degree. She was top of her class, wrote complex forecasting algorithms, spoke 3 languages, and could explain complex concepts in a way that made even the finance guys nod. But 3 months later, she was promoted. Tina, the department head, called Helen into her office and smiled that special smile that made her subordinates' palms go cold. "You're doing a good job, Helen. The board of directors has noticed. I've decided to promote you to lead analyst." "Thank you." Helen smiled sheepishly. "You're welcome." Tina smoothed her perfectly coiffed hair. "Just remember, you're under my personal supervision now." Helen didn't understand then. She understood a week later. Tina stopped greeting people. She used to nod when passing Helen's open door. Now she stared straight through it, as if it were part of the furniture. Helen chalked it up to being busy. They stopped giving her interesting projects. All the complex, intellectual work that required thinking, not just counting, was given to others. Helen was assigned reports that no one read, summaries that duplicated data from another system, paperwork that was blinding. They stopped inviting Helen to client meetings. "They need someone more experienced there," Tina explained at a meeting, not looking in her direction. "Let Helen focus on her job." And Tina also started commenting on her appearance. "Oh, a new dress." In a sweet voice, in the hallway, in public. Bold. "Although it suits you, of course. You're a beautiful girl. The main thing is that you don't forget about the work behind your appearance." Her colleagues averted their eyes. Helen didn't complain. She thought she could get through it. That Tina would get tired, move on to someone else, find a new victim. That it would all go away on its own. It didn't. It only got worse with each passing day. Tyler worked in the next department over. He'd joined the company a year ago, young, brash, with a reputation for being intractable when he saw injustice. Management was wary of him. His colleagues respected him. Tina hated him because he wouldn't let her off the hook, even over the smallest things. She and Helen barely interacted. They'd run into each other in the smoking room, say hello, and exchange casual remarks. He thought she was simply withdrawn. She thought he was too loud. One evening, Helen was sitting in the conference room, crying, quietly, burying her face in her hands, trying not to sob. The door was ajar. She thought no one was there. Tyler walked past. He didn't ask what was wrong. He didn't console her. He simply sat down across from her, put a pack of tissues on the table, and said, "Tell me." Helen told her. Not about her mistakes. Not about the insomnia. About Tina. About the years of humiliation. Tyler listened silently. "Do you know why she hates you?" he asked when she finished. Helen shook her head. "Because you were her 20 years ago. Only she couldn't take it anymore and broke down. And you didn't." The next day, Tyler wrote a letter to the company's CEO. He didn't ask Helen's permission. He simply sat down that evening and listed everything he had seen with his own eyes. The timeline, the facts, the witnesses, the quotes from Tina that he had personally heard. A week later, Tina had her first official conversation with the HR director. 2 weeks later, a reprimand. She didn't quit. People like that don't quit. But her power over Helen ended. Because the secret was no longer a secret. Because someone had found someone who said out loud, "I saw it." Helen didn't become a heroine. She didn't speak at meetings, didn't write resignations. She simply showed up for work the next day and sat at her desk. Tina no longer smiled at her in the hallway. She walked past and stared at the wall. Helen began to sleep at night again. One day, Tyler came into her office. "How are you?" "Fine," Helen said. "Working." He nodded and was about to leave when she quietly said, "Thank you." Tyler turned around. "For what?" "For not passing by." He smiled. "Next time, don't wait 3 years." Helen nodded. She didn't know if there would be a next time. But for the first time in a long time, she didn't want to quit. The sun was setting outside. The air conditioners hummed in the office. Someone was arguing in the conference room. Life went on. Helen opened a new report and began typing.